This NBA Conference Finals Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using promo code SGPN, and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win $500. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. That's right. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today.
Hey, this is John Smoltz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green, with my partner of picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. I thought it would be not the most appropriate thing to wield a gun at this moment. Because we are on camera.
Yes, we are on camera. We are live. YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button.
Also elite at the top of our game. Lots to lose.
Yes, elite.
Right.
We're close to signing a max deal any day now. We do not want to throw it all away by flashing a gun. That would if we had more. If we planned the show out more, Ryan, we would have had some sweet props here, flashing the gun during the IG, during our live stream. Instead, we'll just go to the tried and true.
Oh.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our league.
He flashed a gun, not once, but now twice, while streaming on Instagram Live. Turns out Ja Morant's greatest enemy is himself. That's right. He's the one who keeps filming himself.
Here's what's fucked up.
I mean, in this case, the second case, it was his buddy. But his buddy was filming, then he flashes the gun. The buddy's like, no. He puts it away.
Only 112 people were watching. So one of those 112 people, snitches get stitches.
Yeah, come on. Who's running this up to the league?
112 people.
112 people.
One of 112 people. Those aggregators must be paying people over in the Philippines to watch live streams.
And really, I mean, shout out to Ja Morant. The only thing that can maybe bring some of the attention away from my Philadelphia 76ers, of course, mentioned on yesterday's show, but worth revisiting. What a gutless performance in Game 7 by Embiid, Harden, Doc Rivers, just a complete no-show from the entire organization. And I said it when they started the process. If you accept if you accept losing and intentionally lose, this is what the process does. So for all those people going, oh, it's actually better to tank for this year, and then no, it's not good to get okay with losing. Somebody had a great quote where
they're
they said,
playing the game on a spreadsheet. That's what.
Yeah. If you don't teach a puppy to bite, when it turns into a dog, it's not gonna bite. Small dog energy from the entire.
It's gonna roll on its back and want a belly rub.
Belly rub. I'm rolling up a newspaper.
That's what Embiid did.
I want to be angrier, but just like this whole organization has just been
it's the NBA.
Pissed me off so hard.
It's the NBA. Everyone's like, blow it up, blow it up. No, we got it rebuild. Blow it up.
Oh God!
Like it's a fucking Sim City game. Like let me start over again. Oh, good.
Let's destroy the city. All right, we're going to be joined by a couple co-hosts from the NBA Gambling Podcast, talking conference finals. Before we do that, shout out to Edge Boost, a new sponsor to the program, and early access to the Edge Boost program, the world's first bet now, pay later Visa card. All right, I'm in. Similar to Affirm, Afterpay. I know like PayPal has it where you break it up in payments. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet. And you're thinking like, oh, huge vig. No, double your bet with no interest, and you can pay back that advance over 4 equally equal weekly installments with 0% interest. All you got to do, deposit funds into your account. Edge Boost will match the deposit, so you can use 2x the funds on any legal sports betting site. Edge currently offers up to $2,500 in advances as you build a repayment history. My Edge double down play of the day is, of course, firing Doc Rivers. Lock that up.
Well, you're gonna 4 installments to fire Doc Rivers. No
it's gonna be a payday. And again, 500 SGPN users will start at $1,000 advance limit. 2,500 users start at $500. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up today. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. Must be 21 or older to use. Only valid in legal gambling states. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right.
Can we do are we eligible to use that for 2 touchdown prop bets?
I think, yeah. I mean, my understanding, Ryan. Again, they generate a virtual Visa card.
So basically, I'm free rolling. I'm free rolling 2 touchdown bets.
I cannot wait till we are back in a legal betting state and go to town. Joining us, one of the co-hosts of the NBA Gambling Podcast, ton of other podcasts on the network, Mr. Scott Reichel. What's up, Scotty?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to the rest of the NBA playoffs. Sorry once again for your loss in Game 7 on Sunday. I may or may not have swept the plays on the show by fading the Sixers, but that's sorry. I'm not going to go into me here. Sorry for your loss.
No.
We did have a conversation. We got to pull the tape. I go, Sean. When do we worry about Doc Rivers? I think you were on the show. One of you guys was on the show with us. When do we worry about Doc Rivers? Sean looked me square in the eyes and said, "Game 7."
I did.
Fucking sealed his own fate in that moment.
Again, I'm always going to pick the Sixers, so I'm not going to pretend like I picked the Celtics or bet on the Celtics.
No, never. Boston.
But I was not super excited after the Game 5 win. I mean, I was happy they won, but I wasn't the one going, "Oh, hey, this is one of the greatest wins in franchise history." What loser fucking mentality that you're celebrating a Game 5. Celebrate when you win the championship. Celebrate when you got a parade. Okay, the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl. They didn't go out like gutless bitches. 76ers. That was just it was just a punk.
Fit for the city of Philadelphia.
I was going to say though, so you're saying you're not a fan of leaking some displeasure with the officiating like an hour before Game 7. You thought that was a bit soft as well.
Yeah, just
that was excellent,
sharp and soft. Sharp and
I
soft.
feel like about a press conference and Scott just delivered the perfect question.
Oh, he's the reporter raising his hands, pushing all the right buttons. Joining us as well from the NBA Gambling Podcast and the WNBA Gambling Podcast as well. They're starting their season up right around the corner. Mr. Terrell Furman. Terrell, I know you tweeted out a great meme of the guy sweating, deciding between 2 buttons of course, fading Doc Rivers into Game 7 or fading the Boston Celtics. What was your any final thoughts here on the series? Celtics took down my Sixers.
Well, the sharps of the world didn't care what happened in Game 7 because we threw everything in the kitchen sink at Philly plus 2.5 and Philly plus 1.5 at plus 175.
And I think on the podcast too, we I forget who locked it up, but we had a strong consensus on over 5.5 games, and obviously that came in. That was a no sweat sweat there.
That was one of those surprise NBA playoff bets where I was like, wow, I was feeling confident on the show to put that much money on that one. Feels like a lock. Good, nice.
It's what Boston does, and when you least expect it, they vanish. And now, congratulations to everybody who got Boston at minus 600 money line to start the series. Very good job there. That really paid off. You didn't even have to sweat at all for that bet. But for those of us that are here that got Philly plus 1.5 at plus 175.
Feels like a good bet, and even in hindsight, I think that's even a great bet after the fact.
3-0 when fading Boston this season on the spread. By the way, 3-0 when fading Boston on the spread.
Let's go.
Strong process. Although worth noting that Sean did every piece of Philly basketball gear has been put in the closet.
Yep.
It's not in the
By the
locker
way,
anymore.
Kramer, I think you used a word that might have been banned from the show. You said the word process.
Fuck your process.
No, Sean.
Here's the process. We draft good players, we sign good players, and then we try and win. That's our fucking process. Okay. The process is we don't draft Ben Simmons. We draft Joel Embiid and we say, hey. Oh, you're feeling a little tired? Okay. Well, you still got to play the fucking game. Oh, your knee's a little sore? Oh, here you go. Here's some ice. Have you ever heard of Toradol? Get out there and play and win and represent the city.
You know what it is? They need to hire Herm Edwards as a motivational coach for the team. You play to win the game, motherfuckers. Yeah. The 76ers might be a devil.
He doesn't mess with no devils. Herm's great, man. And shout out to Herm. Gets fired from a big program. Doesn't even take. I don't even think he took like 2 days off. He was already back on ESPN.
No, he's got
talking someone. He's got dirt on someone at ESPN.
Yeah, picture of someone fucking an animal. Or
he's got like a lifetime. It was probably a devil.
Like imagine all the available coaches out there.
Yeah.
And a guy coming off a stint where he sucked generally as a coach, sucked generally as a leader of men, and broke every fucking rule in the book. Get him back in there.
Yeah, Doc Rivers. All right, so let's start breaking these games down and the series. This is actually a remake of the 2020 NBA Conference Finals, where of course the Lakers, remix.
Not just 2020, 2022 as well. We just saw this.
Wait, it was exactly the same as 2022.
We're talking about the West.
Oh yeah. I guess I'm saying like all 4 conference finals.
Yeah, it's a repeat of the bubble.
Yeah, repeat bubble.
For all those that said the bubble doesn't matter, bubble championship doesn't mean anything. The bubble was just the bubble and everything, and all it was. Here we are, 3 years later.
Same thing.
Makes you wonder.
Well, if I'm Jimmy Butler, I'm starting.
Music.
Yeah, I'm starting up my coffee business again. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was like charging $10 a latte inside the bubble. The dude's a hustler.
Big face coffee.
Yeah, big face coffee. I like that. A little note about Jimmy Butler. It's not. That's the only bright side about the Sixers getting knocked out. I can come out of the closet as a full blown Jimmy Butler stan.
$10 a latte.
Oh yeah. I mean, he knows they were held captive.
Where else were they
getting a latte?
Did you hear his explanation for why he was charging $10 a piece? Butler gave an explanation saying since they were in the bubble, everyone's getting their paychecks by envelope, like in their whatever room or in the hotel. So he said that eventually, if he kept charging 10 or 20 bucks, they'd run out of smaller bills and they'd have to pay him hundreds. And he would say that there were no refunds and no change. So he would start taking $100 bills without giving any change to anybody for their paycheck.
This guy's a genius.
He's definitely
genius.
related to Michael Jordan.
I love when he came off and when they beat the Sixers, it was 2022, and he's like taking Tobias Harris over me.
The process involved letting Jimmy Butler.
And I was adamantly opposed to it when it happened.
He could have been an all-time Philly great.
Dude, he had the heart of a champion, and maybe he was
Michael
that dog.
Jordan, the heart of Michael Jordan.
He was that dog they needed. They were clearly dogless.
Where are the Air Jordan shirts? Let's get those going.
What does Jeremy Pruitt and the bubble have in common? They both pay players in brown paper bags.
It's an effective model, and it certainly helped Jimmy Butler's young, flourishing coffee business.
We got the chat is lit. Rick Nash, 4-wheel drive Explorer, saying Embiid slowly taking the same path as Carson Wentz.
Wow, he's big and tall, can't stay healthy.
Yeah, Nick pointing out essentially a Starbucks there with the $10 Jimmy Butler coffee. I'm a Starbucks guy, but their prices, it's getting insane. Conference Finals appearances since Jimmy Butler joined Miami: Heat 3, Sixers 0, Timberwolves 0, Bulls 0. I mean, there was a great story where he was trying to get paid from the T-Wolves, and he set up like a half court game or like a pickup game, essentially. Jimmy Butler and all like the guys at the end of the T-Wolves bench versus the remaining T-Wolves starters, and he was beating them, and he kept yelling at the general manager, "Pay me, motherfucker!" How do you not like that guy? How do you not like him?
And then he left. And went into the locker room, changed, ran to his apartment, and did an interview with Rachel Nichols.
That's what it was. Yes, I forgot the Rachel Nichols part. Man, what a grade A psycho.
How do you let him leave your building?
That's Heat culture. That's winning culture right there. Speaking of Heat, Heat are catching 8 points in game 1 against the Celtics, plus 300 on the money line as a dog here. Obviously, I'm in on the Heat. I think 8 is a really high number. I like the fact that they're starting on the road. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just a hater of the Celtics, but they didn't seem to me, obviously the more talented team overall than the Sixers. But they didn't
steal my job.
They didn't
He just clearly tried to steal my job. Sorry.
They didn't seem to dominate. To your point, Terrell, when you mentioned them ATS, I think you were talking about the series spread prices, right, for Boston.
Yeah.
Like they haven't really put any team away so far here in the playoffs, and the Heat continue to do so. I mean, Knicks, they won that one game without Jimmy Butler. Rest of the series, it felt like the Heat were pretty much in control. I know who is what's the Heat injury situation? Do we know that, Terrell?
They're pretty healthy. I don't see anything here that's alarming to anybody not playing that's in the regular rotation. So you should expect all systems go for the Heat.
There are
Okay.
rumors that Hero could maybe come back mid-series.
That's what it was, yeah.
I don't buy it. His wrist is destroyed. I doubt we'll see him in the series personally.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. I'm just seeing something from the Miami Herald. Tyler Hero, no return close.
I can't help but my first thought when I saw this was going to be the matchup was, well, this is interesting. The massive underdog has a massive coaching advantage.
Spoelstra, you can make a case.
Not
He's
only
really
that,
coaching pretty well in this.
Again, TMZ NBA guy, but Jason Tatum looks like he has a very soft dog inside of him, and Jimmy Butler is going to dominate the fuck out. Like there's a version of this where it's just like, well, why?
It does feel like Butler could steal Tatum's lunch, and what better way? What better? We've saw some.
In what version of a situation where those two are locked in a room?
Yeah.
Is Jason Tatum walking out alive? What has to happen?
It has to be a crazy scenario.
Both hands behind his back.
I think, and again, this is the time to fade the Celtics, right? The blowout win, they cruised that entire third and fourth quarter. They had to play 7 games.
Jimmy Butler says, "Business trip, boys. We got to steal one up in Boston."
Tatum is clearly going to be feeling himself after putting up 51. I love the idea, and we've seen it so much in this playoff series of guys having massive games, 50+ point games, and then not being able to follow it up the following day. I think this is and maybe even you look at like a same game parlay where you're taking the under on Tatum points, parlayed with the Heat money line. I think could be kind of interesting. But
he's gonna get punked all game. And by the way, this Missoula being a psychopath out in the open. Now maybe I was just checking in late to the scenario, but Jesus Christ. I've now watched him extend his press conference to ask the reporters if they want to ask any questions about his adjustments after that. What was it, Game 3 victory or whatever? He's a psychopath. Like Spoelstra's gonna get inside his head. He's gonna sit on that lazy boy and he's gonna slowly pull that wood lever back until Missoula fucking snaps. I don't know how to play this other than to take the dog. Game 1 overall. Maybe I'm looking to play some crazy shit. I mean, why? I mean, I understand that Boston's clearly a better basketball team, but why the fuck is Miami not? I mean, you could argue they're outside of Denver. They've been the most consistent team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, so let's just start with the game 1. Terrell, what's your take on game 1?
I mean, you're never going to get a fade, a chance where I get to fade Boston and not take it. But let me go ahead and start with the concerns. The concerns is that when the line movement that is moving on this game, because everybody and their mother has bet Miami already.
Oh, no.
Because the line is way too large. Everybody has bet Miami. There's a large percentage of the money and of the tickets and the dollars on Miami. However, the line moved a point towards Boston. That is not good. In my eyes, that's reverse line movement. There's no reason the line should be moving towards Boston. I've been looking for some type of injury that would make some type of sense of that line movement. I haven't got it yet. I think the books think that Boston's going to roll here, which honestly wouldn't be surprising.
What did it open at? Did it open
It
higher
opened at
than
7.5.
Oh,
Opened up
okay.
at 7.5, went to
That's
8,
weird. Yeah.
and
All
then
right.
now it's at 8.5. And here's why I think that I wouldn't be surprised Boston gets it done this game. And it's because Eric Spoelstra hasn't had the chance to outcoach Missoula yet. So Missoula's going to come in the first game. It's going to be pure talent, TD Garden. Boston's going to go out there. They're going to look amazing. And then Eric Spoelstra's going to get a hold of some film. And
Yep.
then he's going to actually make
He's film
adjustments.
grinder.
And then Joe Mazzulla is going to see those adjustments and he's going to crawl into his little corner with all his timeouts that he hoarded from all over the season. He's got like 1 million timeouts that he still got from the season that he just chose not to use during clutch time. He's going to have all those timeouts in that corner with them and he's going to cry because Eric Spoelstra is going to make him look silly. So I would not be surprised if Boston took this game just because of that line movement. In fact, where can I get Boston to win game 1 and the Heat to win the series? Because
so you're thinking of the two games, the one for the Heat to steal. You actually like game 2
fucking
better
diabolical.
game 2, I think is game 2 where he gets to make the adjustments
because
He
of the
gets to see
adjustment thing.
what this Heat, because these two teams haven't played in a little while. Like they played 2 games to start the season in the league, and then they played their last game in January. So that's trade deadline. There's a whole lot of different stuff between these two teams. I don't even think Kevin Love was on the Heat at that point in time. So they're going to need a game to understand who this new Boston team is, who this new Heat team is, and then the adjustment comes. So I really, really like the Heat game 2 on.
By the way, Boston to win game 1 and Miami to win the series is plus 850 on DraftKings.
Ooh, okay.
Shing.
I'm enjoying that. Little sharp action. Scott, you seem to be the most rational one on this show, the least emotion.
Well, especially when talking about
in this,
Boston.
yeah, when it comes to breaking down the Celtics. How say you as an impartial observer? Game 1, what are we looking at?
So I feel like it's interesting that once again it's this big of a favorite when they just played last year and it went 7 games, and arguably the Celtics were better last year. In my opinion, I think they were a better team last year under Udoka. Now, Boston is a team that on the show today I called very pretentious because they think they're better than you, and as a result, they don't try all the time. And that's really why they let inferior teams hang around. We've seen in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
There's no way they should have lost that Trae Young game with DeJounte Murray out at home. There's no way you should lose that game. And then you had the series against Philly where Embiid was injured for game 1 and you still somehow blow a double-digit lead at home in game 1. And then you still make the series interesting going down 3-2. Boston, when they need to try, might be the best team in the league. The problem is when they don't need to try, they're never going to try. And Miami's consistent effort, I think, could definitely cause some problems for the Celtics in the series. Now, last year, I went pretty heavy on Miami game 1 because I was going to fade the Celtics off a game 7 win against Milwaukee the previous series. The problem there was the scheduling spot's a bit different this time around than last time around, because last year they only had 1 day off in between game 7 and game 1, which was a very bad scheduling spot, and that's why I faded Boston. This year, not so much, because game 1's going to be on Wednesday and game 7 was on Sunday. So I'm not that concerned about the rest advantage for Miami because Boston does have a couple of days in between for rest compared to last year. Having said that, I do think 8's a few too many points. I'm going to lean to Miami because once again, Boston, they just won. Is there going to be a little bit of a hangover effect? Like we survived, we pulled off a 3-2 comeback, and now we're going to cruise. A part of me is wondering if there's going to be a bit of a honeymoon phase going to the series. We just beat this team. We survived against Philly. We know we can beat any team that we want to. Is there a chance they roll over and Miami sneaks in and makes this game interesting? Of course. But Boston late in games, I still don't trust. They did very well in game 6 to win because Philly scored 3 points in the final 5 minutes and 56 seconds. And then Philly no-showed the second half of game 7. I do think it's a bit concerning that Philly, despite Harden giving them nothing and Embiid giving them nothing, was still winning in the first half for a decent portion of it.
Yeah.
And then they no-showed the entire second half. I'm going to lean to Miami.
They were down 3 in the first half, and we were talking about in the office, and we go, man, what was Doc's halftime adjustments? Yeah. You lose by like 30.
It was 33-10. They scored 10 points in the entire third quarter, but that's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Philly, we assumed, and even you did, with Doc Rivers and James Harden to game 7, they were a ticking time bomb in those 48 minutes. You knew it was going to go wrong at some point. I doubt even you thought Philly was going to win the game in game 7 after losing game 6 at home. But the point is, Boston, even in that blowout game 7, they still let Philly hang around for a half, and then they finally kicked it up a notch in the second half. It's the lack of consistent effort that gives me a problem taking Boston here. If they win this game by 15, would I be shocked? No, because Boston's a much better team. Boston should win this series in 5. Are they going to? Probably not, because I do think they're going to play with their food. I'm going to lean to Miami. If you want to give me the Heat as underdogs in the playoffs with a consistent effort with Jimmy Butler and with a lot of veteran presence there in the locker room and Spoelstra being the best coach in the league, I'm going to take the points.
I think it's
Formula.
hilarious
Go ahead, Terrell.
that I think it's hilarious that on a show where the two main hosts have never in maybe the what is this year 12, 13 of the show never took the Cowboys ever.
No.
Yep.
And I am predictable because I come on here embracing my hate of Boston sports.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you can't. Benny in the YouTube chat saying, "Dude, you're so predictable, straight hater."
Benny, we're blood. We're
Yes.
blood, Benny. You're my blood.
Listen, life is all about simple systems. Nick Sirianni explained this to us very well last year. You should check out his press conference. Look, simple systems here. The Heat's formula for success: steal a game on the road. They've stolen game 1 in both previous series.
I mean,
go, Scott. What's the price on Heat win game 1? Heat win series.
For Heat to win game 1 and the series, that is 9-1.
Hmm.
I'm leaning more towards Heat win game 1. Boston wins the series at around plus 425. But if you want Heat to do both, win game 1 and series is plus 900.
Let's fucking go.
Sean,
all right. So I'm on the internet, right? I'm trolling around on the old internet, scrolling through Twitter, and what do I see? I see this story about Jimmy Butler, and how he was offered the number 23 by Pat Riley. What? The Heat? That number's retired. No one can wear. No one can wear that. Don't clarify my infographic.
Is Terrell gonna fact check the show?
You said it right, but I just want you to know the amount of suckage that is going on that you retired somebody's jersey who never.
Yeah, that's true.
That is weird.
That is weird. That you please take it out of your. Let me stop. Just please.
I respect somewhat like 42 in baseball. Okay, Michael. If that
was historic, that's more of like a symbol to the actual progression of the league and the country. But retiring Jordan. Like that's a little bit
stats versus the Heat.
Jordan kind of owned Miami as well. Like he owned the entire Eastern Conference. So it's a little bit weird.
So the point being,
I mean, it's like, you don't need to hang his jersey everywhere.
In a scenario where no one's allowed to have 23 for the Heat, when Jimmy Butler shows up, he is offered number 23 by Pat Riley, a guy who, if there was an NBA Illuminati, he would have the information.
My God, come on. If there's an NBA Skull and Bones, he is like the chapter president.
I just want to throw out that Michael Jordan averaged 30 in his career against the Heat.
So I was going to say he killed everybody in the East, but Miami, I remember he especially.
He owned him.
You retired somebody's jersey
that is soft.
Who gave you 30 every single time.
This is a fan base that's famous for leaving a game early and trying to get back in, but the doors were locked.
Oh, so, that was an all timer.
And you didn't even mention that Pat Riley got owned by Jordan on several teams because he was with the Knicks and then he got destroyed by the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks got destroyed by him all the time.
Why
in the playoffs,
Pat Riley looking
and now they're Skull and Bones chairman council members together. Anyway, the point is the story became, wow, Jimmy Butler paid respect to Michael Jordan by saying no and wearing number 22. What I'm saying is, why would Pat Riley of all people offer Jimmy Butler that number? Because Michael Jordan said it'd be cool because it's his kid.
Yeah, he passed it along.
I mean, at this point, it's fact. We don't even need the X-Files music.
It's not even a conspiracy
this.
theory.
Michael Jordan's kid is going to win the fucking championship.
Should have been a Maury episode by now. Like, even if it's
exactly. Come on, the ultimate.
Go prove it.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the ratings the decision got? The Jimmy Butler Michael Jordan paternity test would be must-watch TV.
They're holding hands on the stage together.
Don't worry, they're donating the proceeds to the Boys
One
and Girls
day they're going to
Club.
make a commercial about it. It's going to be a joke in a commercial.
100%. We got some great chatter going in the YouTube chat. Of course, that subscribe button, youtube.com/sportsgambling podcast. We're live Sunday to Thursday, 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast, 11:30 East. Mikey saying ridiculous conference finals stats. that he got here. Teams that played less games in the first 2 rounds are on a 16-1 conference final series stretch here. So obviously that would favor the Heat here
baby.
a lot. And then teams that went to a game 7 in either of the first 2 rounds are 2-12 in series when not up against a team that went 7. So another stat here favoring Miami for the conference. Moonoff checking in. Shout out to Moonoff, the Machine Maji, new dad.
Yeah,
Shout out to Moonoff.
Get back to work.
Maybe the kid's up late here, looking for some. Maybe he's
My
looking for
first
some action.
parlay.
Moonoff likes Heat in 6, and that's I'm surprised, but he's on the Heat as well.
Hell yeah!
I think for me the series, I'm just not taking this Celtics team. What do we have the? I mean, I'll take the Heat. I already got it earlier when it was 420.
Nice work letting us know.
It's down to 400.
Nice. See, this is the problem. He doesn't like the process, but then he pulls out the old tout tricks.
Oh, you gotta brag about your.
It's all
CLV,
about your
Ryan.
process. Well, CLV is a process term.
Do we have Ryan? Do you have any sort of? Here we go. Series spread. Any thoughts on series spread here?
I'm all in on the Heat. There's like
okay.
Ladder.
Here's where you know what I don't think I've gotten this off my chest on the air either.
Heat. So
hold on, Sean. No. Jason Tatum was being like discussed as if he was fucking heroic for shooting
the hero
in the fourth quarter after he shucked the entire game.
He dared to dream.
One of my personal heroes, John Starks, pioneered that tactic of just not. Guess what? You know what you can't do if you stop shooting? Make a bucket.
I want to make fun of him more and the hero narrative, but the Sixers just stopped shooting altogether.
Those were the softest 4 3-pointers I've ever seen in my fucking life. That was the most hot potato. You accidentally threw a couple balls in the fucking hoop, and then after that to call yourself one of the greatest players on the planet, you fucking pussy.
It did not come off well.
That's not
to be
plausible.
fair though. He did say that he was one of the best players in the world, and then he did set the record for most points in a game 7.
All right,
so he did back it up afterwards. I hated the comments after the game when he was terrible for the first 3 quarters.
Hey,
but at least he did back it up in game 7.
Yeah, if Embiid put up 50, I'd let him say he's dating my mom. Come on, you can say whatever you want at that point.
My real issue is just how people were like just speaking of the heroic efforts for him to continue to shoot. Like
it reminds me of the Dion Waiters quote, if you remember it, where he said, "I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because that means you lost confidence if you stop hitting at 9."
Well, which
is one of my all-time favorite quotes for Dion Waiters.
Do you remember? Speaking of guys like Dion Waiters, do you remember what Antoine Walker used to say about why he shot so many 3-pointers?
Why is that?
They don't got a 4-point shot.
All right, so series spread. Sitting about Celtics -1.5, -195, Heat +1.5, +160.
Seriously,
What?
No, seriously, no. Like really, seriously.
Oh, where's this?
Let's be honest, because you saw 2.5 with the Hawks.
Yeah,
you saw 2.5 with
Heat 2.5 -135.
It's 2.5 here. At what point, at any point in the playoffs, has Boston showed you that they are going to lock in for 5 games and get you out of here where you don't have to worry about the other team winning too?
Have they been up more than a margin of 1 game at all at any point?
They were up on Atlanta, I believe, 3-1, and then they lost the DeJounte Murray suspension game. So they're up once, I believe, by multiple games.
I mean,
which is insane to lose a game 5. Well, first of all, let's just fade them in game 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they were up 2-0 against Atlanta.
When game 5 comes, let's just don't even have we're not even going to have a show. We're not going to have a show for game 5. We're just going to say you know what to do. But there's no way.
Let me arrange my money.
I don't know
here.
how you feel good about them.
So we're taking the Heat on the spread.
Yep.
I think 1.5. Whatever you fancy, 1.5 or 2.5. It sounds like. But what about the total? Last time we said smash the over 5.5. Are we smashing that again? Scott?
I gave out the 5.5 over as my best bet on the show today. Once again, Terrell hit on it. Boston, if they lock in for 5 games, will win this series within 5 games, but they're not going to do that. And you mentioned Spoelstra being the much better coach, which is kind of obvious for everybody to when they break down the series. That's the ultimate equalizer. And I'm not going to overreact to Missoula yelling at the press, asking for adjustments or, you know, asking questions. Why don't you ask me this? And then lose the next 2 games after yelling at the press for not making any
It
adjustments.
was there for the
pretty funny.
taking. It was there for the taking.
Either way, for the series itself, I'm going to take the series price with Miami, or at least I'm going to take the spread. I am picking Boston to win. I think it's the exact same thing as last year. I still think Boston's the better team by a decent margin in terms of talent. I got Boston in 7, and that pays out a plus 420. That's where I'm going to go for an exact score. I really just see a rinse and repeat situation with either the Philly series or the Miami series last year, where it goes to 7, Boston wins in 7. In hindsight, they don't care because they're playing in the NBA Finals. But we're going to look back on it going, how the hell didn't you win the series in like 5 games? So I'm going to go with Boston in 7.
Yeah, for me, the lock is Heat plus 2.5 at minus 135. Sprinkle a little bit on Heat series game 1. I'm on the plus 8 and small sprinkle on the money line. I mean, Terrell made a good point on the adjustments for game 2 being the game they steal, but I'll still take game 1 just because coming off the game 7, the rest disparity, it's not quite as much as it's been in previous, but that's where I'm at. With Terrell, break it down. What do you got series and your lock for game 1 there?
Just ladder the Heat all the way. Plus 2.5, minus 135, plus 1.5. What's that? Plus 165. Heat for the series, 4-1. I mean, just keep doing what we've been doing. Literally, just keep doing what we've been doing, and you're gonna make money. Because guess what?
Sean.
3-0 so far, getting up here. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing and fading Boston, actually taking their competition in the East seriously. Like they're walking around like they're Ja Morant. Oh, I'm good in the East, and yet they're not covering the spread. They're not covering the spread at all. What is the thing? Great teams cover. This is not a great team because they cannot cover the spread. So you know, depending on which game it is or anything like that, I've thought about playing around with Boston win game 1, Miami wins game 2, trying to figure out the order there. Just give me Miami to win the series. Like I can absolutely see this coming down to a game 7, and instead of Jimmy Butler taking a pull-up 3 with the chance to win the game and missing this go around, he finds a way to get into his spot, win the series, take them to the finals. We see the Heat make it back to the finals for the second time in 4 years.
I mean, I just come on. There's so many. We did so much discussion, and we really didn't highlight too much about the coaching edge, which is going to be massive. And maybe it doesn't exist in game 1, but again, business trip. They steal game 1, so give me the plus 8. Nice size. We'll call it a first half size bet on the Heat plus 8. We'll go a sprinkle on Heat money line game 1. We'll go a very confident football bet on the over 5.5 games in the series.
Oh, that feels money.
Very, very.
I'm gonna also add that to my
maybe even like a Sunday night football like spread strong
chase bet.
Yeah, nice chase bet. And then I think Scott said earlier, Heat win game 1, Heat win series 9-1. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, hey, we're gonna head over to the Western Conference. Before
really quickly,
yes, one more.
Jimmy Butler, points leader. Plus 190. If they win the series, it's because he went crazy like he did against Milwaukee.
Well, I need to hear if Scott likes anything like this now.
Well, you know, the points leader is either going to be Jason Tatum or Jimmy Butler, but I'm assuming it's going to be Butler because of the fact that Miami, their supporting cast has been better this postseason, kind of a surprise. But you know that if Butler's going to miss the 3-pointer to lose the series last year, he might take this series especially personally. It wouldn't shock me if Butler averaged 35 or so. And yes, Tatum dropped 50 in game 7. At least he has a Robin. He has Jaylen Brown who could give you 30. So maybe Tatum could defer a little bit. I think you can make an argument that they're pretty much 1A, 1B, but based on the shot attempts and the hierarchy,
they're the Wonder Twins.
The point is Tatum's always going to take more shots than Brown, at least the majority of the time. So I think that the Celtics view Brown as more of a Robin because they don't give him the same amount of shots. But the point is Brown can give Tatum a bit of a rest here and there. Tatum has an off game and Brown could give them 30. They need Butler to average like 34 in the series. So I do think plus 190 makes sense for that bet.
I just also not accidentally bet Jimmy Butler to win NBA Finals MVP at 18-1.
Oh, wow.
18-1 though. Okay.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah. Cause how
better
are
than
they?
The Heat.
I mean,
they're not going to win the title and Butler's not going to win the MVP. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
That seems
Jordan DNA. Air Jordan.
Get those shirts. We got to get those shirts going. All right. Hey, before we get to the Western Conference Finals, of course, shout out to Shady Rays. Have you got your Shady Rays? If you haven't, what are you doing, man? These are badass shades. Love my Shady Rays, and got a sweet discount when I use the promo code SGPN, 50% off when you order 2 or more pair. Again, shout out to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom. Shady Rays are coming to you. Maybe you're out there, you gotta throwing another shrimp on the Barbie down there in Australia. You got some, or I know Barry from the Premier League Gambling Podcast. He's a big barbecuer out there in the United Kingdom. Again, so many reasons to get these sweet, sweet shades. Great loss and replacement policy. They got you covered. ShadyRays.com, promo code SGPN, and then take it over. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/shady for your chance to win. Shady May, $500 up for grabs. And of course, also brought to you by Talk of Fi. Having a hard time meeting great people to date? Why do you keep trying the same methods over and over? Again, it's like my relationship with the Sixers. I know every year it's going to be disappointing. If only Talkify was there to help me find my perfect match when it comes to my NBA fandom. No, they don't pair you up with an NBA team, but they pair you up with a great date. Number one modern matchmaking service designed to help you. That's right, you listening, watching, achieve relationship success. Maybe you're too busy grinding out your 16 parlay to think about dating. That's why Talkify does the heavy lifting. They got a matchmaker. They ask all the awkward questions ahead of time. 80% of their clients met their person within the first 12 matches. That's a lead pipe lock if I ever heard one. And Talkify offering our listeners 20% off when you become a client at Talkify.com/SGPN. That's Talkify.com/SGPN for 20% off. TAWKIFY.com/SGPN. Game 1, Lakers at Nuggets. I already got down here on the Nuggets. Love the Nuggets. Laying 6. Totals plus 205 for the Lakers. Minus 245 for the Nuggets coming back. I mean, the Lakers to me feel a little like that was a tough series for them against the Warriors. A lot of running around for the old guys, aka Anthony Davis, who has a body like an old guy. LeBron James.
We don't make fun of CT. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Oh my God. Quick sidebar. I got as my hot yoga class was ending today, I got kicked in the back of the head. I did request a wheelchair to be taken out. No, I mean, the blow to the head by this. Now the chick probably weighed like 90 pounds. It is Pasadena hot yoga, but she kicked me in the back of the head as she was walking out of class.
Wow.
I did feel stars, but I powered through it. Unlike Anthony Davis, who needed the wheelchair out.
Was there an apology?
Yeah, she said she was sorry. Just imagine it was the very end of class. They're winding things down. They're like, all right, everyone, namaste, find your center. And you just hear me go, fucking Christ, Jesus. She kicked me in the back of the head. It really hurt. Nuggets, Lakers. I just think this is again, the Lakers series was way harder on them. Now you're going on the road. That first game at Elevation is always a bitch. And I think it's gonna be a tough spot for them. My dog Garth's chiming in. Maybe I should go dog. I'm not doing it. I'm taking the Nuggets -6. I just don't think they can match up with the Jokic Murray combo. And I've seen a fire in the eye of Murray that I haven't seen in any other role players in the playoffs. So I'm all in on the Nuggets -6. Scott, I'll let you start things off. What are you doing game 1 here?
I was going to say that's a bit of a backhanded compliment, right? Because you just called Murray a role player.
I was laughing at that.
Well, I mean, do you consider Jamal Murray a superstar?
You don't have to be a superstar, but I think he can be like
superstar has a large
you're right. Role player was way too much shade. I guess I meant like
Jesus, Sean.
Well, who is
he's
really?
He's an inconsistent star. He is still a star. He's
a star, something like that. Role player is a bit harsh though.
Role player,
because then you're grouping him with like Caldwell Pope, and that's just a bit offensive. But yeah, I'm gonna lean to Denver in game 1. They're in altitude. Denver, a lot was made about the altitude and how it's very difficult to play there. And then you assumed like the Utah Jazz, they'd lose a couple home playoff games and it wouldn't matter. No, Denver's dominated at home. They've won every home game so far in the postseason. The Lakers have done a good job, unlike most LeBron teams, of actually winning game 1. Historically, LeBron teams have kind of punted game one and made some adjustments here and there. I'm going to go with Denver in game one. We didn't talk about the series yet, which I'll get into in a little while, but I do think for game one, I am going to lean to Denver. I think that the Lakers are going to have to experiment a little bit with defensive coverages on Jokic, which is kind of a lose-lose because either he's going to pass the ball for 15 assists or he's going to give you 40. So you got to figure something out. I think Jokic is a masterclass in game one. I saw I got a haircut, so he's ready to go. But I'm going to go with Denver -6. I think they win game one comfortably. The rest of the series, not so much. But we'll talk about that in a little while.
Yeah, I do love Jokic when they were asking him like, what is he gonna do between now and when the series start? And he said, hopefully hang out in my pool if the weather's warm and watch. I guess he has a friend who owns a horse.
Nice.
And
he was in Italy, right? He's gonna go to like Milan or something and watch some horses.
Oh, was he going there? I assumed he was staying in Denver watching.
I couldn't tell. I gotta pull up that quote. At first glance, I thought he was flying to like Italy to hang out with some horses. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah. Either way, he really sounds like a bit of
#Legends only.
And he had another great quote when they were asking him about like, hey, do you any takeaways from playing them in the 2020 playoffs, or like what did you learn from facing them in 2020? And he goes, to be honest, I don't remember, which is just such
amazing.
He is. He's just. He
gives me Ovechkin vibes. Like when he wins a championship, he's gonna party like Ovechkin.
Oh man.
Okay. So the exact quote Jokic said, by the way, he said, "I'm probably gonna watch my friend race horses in Italy. Hopefully, it's going to be sunny so I can go outside in the swimming pool." So it's a little bit unclear if he's going to Italy or if he's just gonna watch his friends with horses in Italy. But there was something involving horse racing involved.
I just imagine him in some like suburban pool in Denver with a giant like screen. And just him just sitting there like yelling at the horses. I don't know. Flying to Italy during your break just seems like a bit much, but
just to watch horses.
That's what
I guess if you're on the private jet,
Sean, that's a DGen move if I've ever seen it.
Oh man, 100%.
It's like Jordan playing 36 holes and then dominating like Antigua in the Olympics.
It is hilarious. We've had multiple like Jim McMahon, who is the Jeremy Roenick, just sharing stories about Michael Jordan just trying to goad them into big gambling more money than they have.
Not only that, remember, Sean, though, it's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby, and he has fun with it.
But not only that, all the guys who have told us the Jordan stories, they were all telling us in the context of this guy's the greatest athlete ever, and then it's like something completely unrelated to athletics, like playing cards or drinking.
Yeah, but Jeremy Roenick said he was better at spades than he was at basketball, which is just such a crazy, just so crazy.
He's a top 4. He's a Mount Rushmore of spades as well.
All right, and if you're watching on YouTube, my dog Garth has joined us.
Seriously.
He was going nuts there.
Wait, so Scott's on Denver game 1. Terrell, Terrell? Who are you on game 1?
I think I want the Lakers in the points.
Oh,
whoa. Ooh.
Whoa.
And
is 6 enough?
Curious. I'm very curious because I think the level of defense that they're about to see from the Lakers is unlike anything they've seen in the playoffs thus far. And so it's kind of a lot easier to run away with a game in game 1 at home when the other team can't get over 100 points. And you can put up 125 in your sleep, but points in the paint aren't going to be easy to come by in this game with Anthony Davis and Vanderbilt down there going toe-to-toe with Jokic, going toe-to-toe with Aaron Gordon, going toe-to-toe with Jamal Murray when he comes into the paint. Like, I think that I'm definitely going to be on block props, steals and blocks for Vanderbilt, blocks and steals for AD as well. But that's really where I think that there's a little bit of an equalizer. They're going to be looking for their outside shot very early. And if that doesn't fall for them, then this could be a little bit closer of a game than I think some people expect. I'm going to take the Lakers and the points. I think Denver can eke out a win in game 1, but I think this is going to be a closer, more fun game than we've seen any of Denver's game 1s.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like to me, and no crazy analysis here, but it really depends on Anthony Davis. Like we've seen in the games where they win, a lot of times it's Anthony Davis having like a really big, impactful game. Now, can he do it game 1 or is it game 2? I kind of think it's going to be game 2. Like game 1's that first game where they get adjusted to the elevation. Game 2 is maybe where Denver gets a little complacent, and that's where the Lakers get that steal of game 2. But how do you see the series overall shaking out, Scott, here between Nuggets Lakers?
So I do agree with Terrell that I think the Lakers defense is unlike anything the Nuggets have seen before, because they faced off against Minnesota, who they kind of struggled with as the series went on, and they faced off against Phoenix, and I think Phoenix had the worst defense of any team in the playoffs.
That's a good point.
So I'm actually leaning to the Lakers to win the series. I got them in 6 personally, but once again, I do think Game 1 the Lakers are going to try to experiment more with coverages, and I think as a result they're going to struggle. I think they'll figure it out as the series goes on. Now I'm not saying AD can stop Jokic. I don't know how many better defenders you can find in the league to potentially limit Jokic to some degree. And I'm also, once again, you mentioned Jamal Murray as a role player. I don't agree with that, but still, he can be streaky at times. So if you're asking me which duo I trust more in a 7-game series, LeBron and AD or Jokic and Murray, I'm probably going to take the group that actually has a title already. So I do think that if AD can limit Jokic to, let's just say, an inefficient type of 35-point game, something like that. Do I have much faith in the supporting cast to step up? I'm not sure, because the Lakers, in my opinion, have the much better bench. I don't think it's close. I think the Lakers have probably the best bench of any team left in the playoffs, either them or Boston. But the point is, I do think the bench unit's going to be a serious story here, because I do think that the Nuggets, from what we've seen in the playoffs so far, anytime Jokic goes to the bench, or most of the time, they get buried. So if Jokic gets into foul trouble guarding AD, if he ends up struggling with overall rim protection because the Nuggets don't really have much rim protection, I think the Lakers have the pieces to win the series. Game 1, they might sleepwalk through. Maybe they'll experiment, take some notes, make some adjustments for Game 2. But for this series, I am going to lean to the Lakers in 6.
You only need one game on the road in that first 2. You get that one game on the road, and you feel pretty good going forward. So,
and the Lakers haven't lost a home game either. So
I don't know if did you see Ham and his post game locker room speech? It was so hilarious because he's on camera, he's doing the speech, but LeBron keeps butting in during the speech, and he's like, "All right, we played really hard," and then you just hear LeBron in the back, "We played our hearts out, man." Okay, and it was just this is what happens when hard work and then LeBron will jump in, meets dedication, meets commitment, and then he's trying to win the room back, meets dedication and commitment. LeBron keeps jumping in.
Yeah, boy.
He kept trying to clearly make it clear that, hey,
it's like Stone Cold.
He's like, hey, I'm kind of
Stone Cold bit with the Undertaker. Yeah. No, I mean, he did that in when you watch their iconic clip of them talking about Golden State, where they after they lost Game 5, I think it was, or it might have been Game 6 actually. And it was Game 6 after they lost Game 6, and Ty Lue's standing there like, "Hey man, that's how you do it. That's anything." And LeBron steps in. They're up, man. They are up. They are mentally and they're up. He does that.
Great. Kramer, what Game 1? What are you doing?
Well, they've played 6 home games, the Nuggets, and they've only won one of those by less than 6 against the Nuggets in the Game 5.
Wait, Nuggets against Suns?
Sorry, against the Timberwolves. In the deciding Game 5, they come out against the Suns, win by 18, win by 10. I do think, obviously they're aware of the elevation, and obviously old guys getting up there. I don't know if they're going to be acclimated right. Again, it just seems like this is an easy one. I'm kind of with Scott in that maybe we start peeking at the Denver wins Game 1, Lakers wins series. Market, because unfortunately they are a one-man show. The difference though, with we pinpointed this with our boy AD. He likes to go every other night,
every other Davis, right?
Joker every night. Yeah, he's an every night guy. So
he's going hard in the paint.
And I've never seen. I don't think he would require a wheelchair if he got hit in the head too hard. But I mean,
I was going to say quickly, I do want to point out just a comparison between the series prices and Game 1 for the 2 series quickly. So the Nuggets are around -165. The Lakers are around +140. We mentioned the Celtics being roughly -550 and the Heat being 4-1. The Celtics are laying 8 in Game 1 and the Nuggets are laying 6. Yet these series prices are separated by roughly $3.
Yeah,
doesn't it seem a little bit weird? It seems like the books are just anticipating the Lakers to punt Game 1. Doesn't it feel that way?
I mean, that's certainly what the price would suggest.
Let's go.
This is a little interesting nugget. You know, Celtics, as you mentioned, huge favorites in the series price. Teams listed at -400 or higher to win the series in either the conference finals or NBA finals are 28-2 straight up last 35 years. The losers, Eastern Conference Final, the Cavs were -700, lost to the Magic. 2004 Finals Lakers. -700 loss to the Pistons. So
it's a good nugget.
You kind of, it doesn't make me feel great. I like the other nuggets that the chat had about teams who play the least, you know, the shorter amount of games showing up for the series. I'm going to go Denver series, and just on the series price, I think it's going to be, I mean, I like the over on the games. You don't get as much of a as far as like a good price on an over 5.5, because I think they're expecting it to be a long series. But I'll take Nuggets -160. Again, I saw something out of Jamal Murray, former role player, now like regarded star. I will say star player Jamal Murray.
Okay,
I just saw something out of him.
Full turnaround.
He had a chip on his shoulder that I liked. And then man, just that, like some of those Jokic like 50-point games. I don't know. I think the miles on LeBron and just the metaphoric, the not actual miles on, you know, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, not a lot of miles on the odometer, but clearly he's a lemon. I think something is going to happen that they're going to be banged up.
The league,
Terrell liked that I called him a lemon.
The league,
as a guy, I've had some bad cars. I've had some lemons.
Jesus.
I know.
Don't buy a Volkswagen Jetta.
Is it possible the league is constantly evolving, constantly changing? Is it possible having too many superstars isn't a plus EV move anymore?
Well, I mean, the way the Lakers roster, to Scott's point, like they do have a decent like depth. I think you know, you got guys like Austin Reeves showing up in a big way. D'Angelo Russell has been playing well. I mean, you're getting good minutes from like
Rui Hachimura,
Hachimura,
Dennis Schroeder. Like you got three guys off.
They
the
have
bench
like
that
a
can come
decent
in and play well for you. And I mean, Denver only has three guys coming off the bench. Like that's the difference between the two benches. You have three guys coming off the bench for them that can play well for the Lakers. And you have only three guys, and one being Christian Braun, who comes in there and literally just gets 2 fouls and energizes the group, and then they send somebody else back out there. So
you also have Jeff Green as the other one, who's if you want to talk about older guys with a lot of mileage on the odometer, Jeff Green's been bouncing around playoff teams as a bench player for a couple years.
I think everybody agrees that when we talk about Denver's bench, we're only talking about Bruce Brown, and if
it's
Bruce
really
Brown is going to play Brown, like that's it.
We're not talking about DeAndre Jordan. I'll tell you that much. But I do think to touch on Ryan's point about how rosters are constructed, I think the big three era is dead.
Yeah,
I think that the big two with a lot of depth is the new go-to move for NBA teams. So from that perspective, I don't think you can stack everybody like the Suns, who have basically 2 players and no bench whatsoever, or 3 players in some cases. But I think from that perspective, the big three era is over. But you need the big two and at least 2 or 3 reliable options off the bench. That's how I look at it.
It almost seems specifically you need a big and a guard, and you need someone to have a fucking dog in them. Like you need a dog on the team. That's the biggest problem with the Suns. No dogs.
No dog in those fights.
There.
All right. Terrell, did we get your take on the series? It seems like you're leaning Lakers. If you like Lakers game 1, and I don't know if you I don't think you threw out whether you like them on the money line. You like the points. Where are you at? Do you think they have a chance to win game 1? Where are you at with the series?
It sounds like we both like Lakers in 6, right? That's what it sounds like to me.
I didn't say 6.
I was gonna say though. You think they win game 7 on the road? Or you think it's a short series?
Yeah, I think I trust LeBron James in the game 7. So I mean, I don't care where you give me. You could give me a game 7 in Rancho Cucamonga, and I'm gonna still take LeBron James. Like I like LeBron James in the game 7 regardless. But I do like Denver win game 1. I think that is while I think that is going to be a closer game, I can see Denver eking it out at home. Plus the emotional factor is there. You were down 3-1 last time you played this team. Like that's really embarrassing. And so there's still, you know, I know that's sitting on Jamal Murray's mind. I'm expecting a big Jamal Murray game tomorrow. I know that's still sitting on Jokic's mind as much as he tries to make it seem like he doesn't remember. You remember being down 3-1 in the only conference finals you ever made it to. So,
the 80 buzzer beater 3 as well. That series was close.
Yeah, like they're like he is really cap. Like he is really capped talking about I don't really remember it. Yes, you do. So I like Denver to come out here and win game one, whether it be by a lot or a little, and then Lakers to come back and win the series plus 340. I think that
Ooh.
that's good for me. And again, I thought it with the Warriors series, and it just kind of materialized as somebody different stepped up every single game for the Lakers. They have a lot of guys that are really stepping up for them, and I'm actually like really, really surprised. Like it just doesn't matter. Like you cannot have a Reeves game, you cannot have a D'Lo game because you still got Hachimura, you still got Dennis Schroeder, who had a really good game that last time out. You
Yeah.
still got Lonnie Walker, who had the infamous fourth quarter that everybody's talking about.
Oh, I
Like,
forgot
In theory,
about.
Malik
We didn't even
Beasley
talk
was
about
barely
Lonnie
even
Walker.
played, but Beasley's also proven he can be a reliable piece at times. They haven't used him.
Ultimate team leader, LeBron James, drags a ragtag group of guys. I mean, look, it's just coming to me. I just realized like what this is the ultimate passing of the baton. It's not Durant. It's Jimmy Butler, son of Michael Jordan, catching the baton from LeBron in the finals.
That would be. I mean, that would be certainly a pretty exciting.
They'd be so
finals.
wet. The TV executives, we get to go to LA and Miami.
No, that is
full blown erection.
So you want the exact repeat of the bubble with the Lakers facing off against the Heat again in the final. Except you have a different team winning, but you have the same finals matchup.
For the record, I would love nothing more than to have the Joker at the highest level be the center of attention. That would be better because, and also him winning a championship, like him celebrating like Ovechkin, that could be very fun to follow. But I just like the idea I just like the idea of the two massive basketball towns of Denver and Miami going head to head in the finals. That would be like, if you're asking me, gun to my head, what's happening here? Fuck the Lakers. I'm gonna regret going against LeBron.
Oh, so you're on Nuggets for the series, Ron?
I thought you were gonna go Lakers. What do they say about these series? They got home court if they win all their home games, Sean. It don't fucking matter what happens in LA.
I think this will be a good series. I do like.
Are we going over 5.5?
I think the juice
minus 210.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I do like it, but I'm not minus 210. That's not that appealing. But I'll go Nuggets. Just a series price at minus 160. I mean, I think it could be 7. I think it could be 5, 6. Like I don't know.
4 even.
4, 3 is a possibility. You never know what
you shouldn't question yourself about that. Of all the teams that are left, the Nuggets have given you the least problems. Like, as of this
Nuggets
point,
have made me a lot of money this playoffs.
Picking an NBA team to win in 3 would be up there with with a Phillies Cubs World Series prediction.
They won't even let me get in my Nuggets in 3.
By the way, just for the actual series score projections or predictions for odds, Nuggets 4-3 is actually the favorite at plus 340.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. See, because I don't even want to mess with like 5, 6, or 7 because I don't know. I just don't think like. Well, to Scott's point at plus 340, that to me, like nailing Nuggets in Game 7 at plus 340, that doesn't feel like that tempting.
Series hasn't started until someone wins on the road.
Yeah.
Neither of these teams have lost at home. So I guess if they just hold serve, Denver Nuggets, baby. More Sean Payton and Russ courtside. I'm in for that.
Oh man, did they even Jared Stidham's going to be the guy sitting courtside.
Sean, did you see who they signed? Ben DiNucci in Denver, baby. He's starting
QB controversy.
He's starting a game for the Broncos this year.
All right, let's close it out with just a lock and your favorite dog. I know
so many picks. Jesus.
I know Terrell and Scott also like a bunch of player props. Make sure you subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast. These two guys. You also got Lante, Moonoff, great crew, and of course as well the WNBA Gambling Podcast. Subscribe to that. Season right around the corner. Plenty of ways to win on the WNBA and
this Friday
NBA Gambling Podcast. Lock and Dog brought to you by Edge Boost. Again, double your bet with no interest. It doesn't get any better than that. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge for all the details. Kramer, I'll let you have the honors.
You should call the segment for the WNBA Gambling Podcast the Massive Edge Boost.
Okay.
You see what I did there?
I'm missing
because they're giving out winners. Massive
edge. I like that. Sharps, fellow Sharps.
Just creating products for them.
Kramer, what do you got? What's your lock?
Lock
and your dog?
over 5.5 games in Miami and Boston.
that
Just
is
maximum football size bet on that. And dog, Heat win game 1, Heat win series 9-1.
Ooh, okay.
Ship it.
For me, lock. I'm gonna just go Miami plus 2.5 games at -135. I just can't imagine a world where they get completely.
We gotta get Jimmy Butler on the podcast.
Yeah, come on. He seems like
we gotta ask him directly. Like seriously, do you like? Are you? Do you know off the record that you're Michael Jordan's kid and that you're just keeping it secret so everyone can have conspiracy theories about it?
And in honor of Munaf and his new fatherhood, he gave out Heat in 6. Yep. I'm seeing that at 11-1, 12-1. I'm going to use that as my long shot dog. So give me Heat in 6. Get it done. Winning 4-2. Scott, what do you got? Give me a lock and a dog you like for the conference finals.
All right. So for the lock, I'm going to join Kramer here. I'm going to go with the over 5.5 games. I gave it earlier on the show, but same thing as basically Heat plus 2.5.
Yeah,
I
really
see it being a longer series. Boston, once again, I think they're the better team, but they've been the better team in the first 2 rounds, and yet they found themselves in dangerous waters because they don't try all the time. And I feel like that's a bit of a problem when you're against a Miami team that's basically like a bunch of zombies. They just don't go away. So I'm going to go with the over 5.5 for the games there as my series lock. For my long shot dog, I actually talked about it earlier on the show, the NBA show with Adam, who we had on as a guest. I'm going to go with Al Horford to be the leading rebounder in the Celtics series at 30-1 on BetMGM. He averaged 10 rebounds per game in the series last year. He got a lot of minutes, no matter how bad his 3-point shot looked in the last series against Philly. And defensively, he was very good against Embiid. So I can't see him getting minutes defensively because he might be guarding Adebayo. But 30-1 for what could be a starting center. Rob Williams had some injuries. His minutes have been kind of all over the place. I like 30-1 for Horford to lead the series in rebounding. I'm going to go off the grid on a prop that I didn't mention yet on the entire show as my long shot dog there at 30-1.
Oh, dude, I love that. That's a great prop. And yeah, to your point, like there's a million ways that could happen. And yeah, to your point, like a starting center, 30-1.
Yeah.
I know, and they've played around with lineup stuff too. Like, what if Horford starts hitting a couple threes? Like you could see his minutes.
It's very diabolical. I like it.
I
Even
love
if he doesn't, he's just the veteran leader. It seems like Missoula trusts him as being an anchor of the team's defense. I think he's going to play a lot of minutes. So I 30-1.
And he was he was out there trying hard. I mean, he got in Embiid's head. He was clearly rattling him. He has that playoff experience. I mean, 30-1 is crazy.
Who is older, Al Horford or Adrian Peterson?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Okay,
it has to be. It has to be Adrian Peterson.
No, it might actually be Al Horford.
I think I think it's Peterson.
Al Horford's like 38, isn't he?
Peterson he came out in 2007, same year as Al Horford, but obviously playing a couple extra years in college.
Yeah, football.
He's 30. He's 38.
I had 2007 in my mind. I thought Horford left for the NBA in like 08 or 09. That's on me.
Third pick in the 2007 draft. Although he did play in college for a number of years as well for Florida.
Terrell, how say you give us a lock and a dog?
I tried not to just be the Miami Heat podcast today, but
that's fine.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm going with my ladder. My ladder has made me profitable in the playoffs thus far. I'm not going to change it. Heat plus 2.5, Heat plus 1.5. Sprinkle on the Heat for the money line for the series. It's been working for me. I'm going to keep going with it. For my long shot DGen bet for the series, will there be a buzzer beater in the Miami Heat Boston series? 30-1.
Oh wow, you really dug that one.
Air Jordan.
Let's go. Love that. Love it.
Just if you're into drama, and you want that baton toss prop, you want to take advantage of it. You could. I'm seeing Miami Heat to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. Exact result is 42-1.
Ooh, okay, all right, could see that.
But
I still like Nuggets, but I think that's gonna be
that price. I'm trying to figure out if that's priced correctly.
Well, the Heat right now to win the title are what, like 14-1, 11?
Yeah, 15-1. Call it.
And so you'd also be getting parlaying that with Lakers to win the West, which is
they're what plus
140, give or take. But then you're also you're basically having a 3-pick parlay on the series prices, the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and the finals. Lakers will be favored in the finals. Probably.
Honestly, my odds are saying it should be about 36 to 1. So at 42 to 1, there would be value there.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds like you're pretty sharp over there.
It looks like we did it again, Sean.
We did it again.
Okay.
Couldn't have done it without our good buddies, Terrell Furman.
Yes.
Follow him on Twitter at ReallyRel _, and of course Scott Reichel at Reichel Radio. Follow those guys. Subscribe to all the awesome podcasts they do on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, NBA podcast, WNBA Gambling Podcast, NFL Gambling Podcast, Tennis Gambling Podcast. We got it all. Smash! That subscribe button. Toss us a nice 5-star rating review. Always tossing away some gift cards for some great reviewers.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second money green, and he is Ryan.
More superstars than role players.
Kramer, let it ride.
Dong, dong.